Episode 44 Gozyuger is my favorite episode of all time, and I'm sure it's going to stay that way because I think next week is the ending of Gozyuger for all eternity. And we know that's going to be a sad moment in time because that means Super Sentai is done for the next 10 to, well, however long Tokusatsu Toei has decided to put it on hold. But let's get into the conversation about the Ogami Ranger and what his backstory is. So let's get going. The Origami Ranger's backstory is fantastic. Not only is he not a good guy, he's not a bad guy, but he is somebody there to teach Gojo that he is not the true Red Ranger. And we're going to get into that a little bit more deeply here in a second. But I want to step aside for a second and talk about the 2-minute clip that you see with Candle, the two-headed monster. The two-headed monster finds Candle back in the Queen June's palace, kind of like moping around, trying to figure out what's going on. And the two-headed monster says, "Why don't you come join us? Queen June, Sword, and Nagami is a happy family now. She has changed the ways of her heart to not to take over the world and destroy all humans." And Candle just kind of flips because he wants to destroy all humans, especially after all that has happened. And he knows that Lady Bouquet is now happy too with Rikino in the cafe, hotel, whatever it's supposed to be. I can never remember. And even that is a cool little scene we're going to get into here in a second. So Candle goes nuts, says, "You better get out of the palace. I'm done with you." He pulls off his earring that becomes the candle staff and basically frightens the two-headed monster away. Well, when you go to the cafe, you got Rikino and Lady Bouquet. Rikino's asking the manager of the hotel, the female manager, the mom of the kid, if Lady Bouquet can have a job, and Lady Bouquet talks to her. And basically she says, "Okay." And the son's like, "Oh, you're cute." It's kind of cool, little funny haha story. And the mom goes up to Lady Bouquet and say, "Couldn't she be Rikino's girlfriend?" And she just shakes off the head like, "No, no, 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 I can't do that. I can't do that." And then an arrow flies into the room and tells them to all meet in the something stadium. I can't remember the name of the stadium, but it's neat to see that how fast this goes because all this episode really is about the Ogami Ranger. And when the Origami Ranger shows up in the very first few minutes of the episode, he comes through the portal with a big Ogami crane, I guess it would be, and appears and jumps off this building and basically telling Gojo that he is not worthy of being a Red Ranger. He has the ring that his friend had, and the friend told him to find Gojo and give it to him, but he could tell that Gojo not ready for the responsibility of all this power. And basically, these other like putty patrollers show up and fight, or go after the humans, and of course the Origami Ranger. So after Gojuger fights the putty patroller and wins with all of his magical cool moves, he goes back and talks to Gojuger about origami and how when you fold it a certain way things happen. Well, Gojuger doesn't care. All he wants is the ring from his friend to him and, get this origami character out of his face, pretty much. Well, after he's done folding the paper, he turns it into the crane and it flies off and disappears. Well, when we go back to the other set of Rangers, Go-Juders in this case, they're in the stadium waiting for whoever was supposed to show up. Well, all of a sudden out of nowhere is a ninja showing up, and what ninja is it? Is Kaku Ranger. One of my favorite Sentai shows of all time, Kaku Ranger. Not Alien Ranger. No, that's something different. Based around Kaku Ranger, but not the same. But anyways, the original actor that played Kaku Ranger Red is playing this Kaku Ranger. And he talks about the history of Kaku Ranger and how the ring is actually just based around his original powers, and that's it. So he's basically getting his powers back through the Gojuju ring. And when he transforms, it is a beautiful scene where it goes right back to the Kaku Ranger scene, and is fantastic. All the backgrounds are there. The movement of the Kaku Ranger was perfectly done by the suit actor. Oh man, it was mind blowing. Whoever designed that fight scene between the Gojujers and Kaku Ranger took their time and effort to realize how things should have worked out, even to the point where when the suit actor does a move where the suit falls on the ground and he appears behind him, that's in a typical Kaku Ranger move. I love it. This battle was awesome, even though the Gojujers lose the battle. And during all this, I gotta say, I'm kind of going fast, and I don't know why. I'm just kind of excited for this episode. I love this episode with the Kaku Ranger and the Gojujers and the Origami Ranger. There's a lot to do with the Origami Ranger here. So that battle is just going on. Let's just say it goes on for a while. And during that battle, Origami Ranger and Goju Roof sees this set of kids, fighting, pushing each other. And Origami gets up to him before Goju Roof does and says, "What are you doing? Trying to stop the fight between the two kids." Because, like I said, Goju Roof and not Goju Roof, sorry, the Origami Ranger is not bad or good. He's like, here for a reason, but not to be bad. And of course, Goju Roof notices that he can't fix the problem. He cannot fix the problem between the two kids, so he steps in and starts making a script of his own. Why did you push me and blah 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 blah. And of course, Origami Ranger's kind of confused here, going, "What the heck is this guy doing?" And Goju looks at Origami Ranger and says, "You're going to be the hero." And he gets, even though he's wearing a mask, kind of can tell by the mannerism that he's like confused. And he goes back talking to the kids, the Goju Roof is, and he looks at the Origami Ranger, and Origami goes and puts him in like a lock and pushes him to the side. And Goju Roof is like, "You're stronger than I thought you were," and he runs off. And that confuses the Origami Ranger to a T, to the point where he goes talks to Goju Roof and basically thanks him for that and says he's confused what you're about. Why don't you have a wish? Kind of pushes on this whole thing about the history of how he knew all the other Super Sentai Red Rangers and how powerful they were and how great they were and all this. To see him being nothing in his eyes, he's the Red Gozyuger, but he's not anything fantastic, big deal. And he has decided that he is going to be number one, and Gozyuger Roof can go away. And Gozyuger gets pushed, and he says, "You do not have the right to tell anybody what they are and what they're not, and you have become my prey." And he does a little prey thing that he does, "You're now my prey." And number one battle starts, and I love that. Number one battle. I don't know, it kind of grew on me, it just kind of grew on me over time. I mean, geez, we're up to 45 episodes. I had to see it through every episode. I think it's kind of neat knowing, what's coming up, but you get to see a little like talking between the two about it before they start fighting. And you get to see Gojuger's brother in sword form that I call Saba 2.0, or Black Saba, because it's a black sword instead of the white sword. And he acts the same. The sword talks, the sword has movesets, the sword acts like a boomerang. I love that battle, and I really wish I could show it to you, but we all know Toei will copy claim this video or copyright strike me, and we don't want that on this channel. We are just moving up in the world, and we want to keep that going. If you're enjoying this video right now, go down below and hit that hype button. YouTube sends out an algorithm to thousands of millions of people saying that this video is fun to watch, and come watch it. Now let's get back to the episode itself, when Goju Roof is battling Origami. Now when Origami is fighting Goju, he pulls out his brother as the sword form, Saba 2.0, as I want to call him in this episode, because not only does he talk like Saba, but he also kind of fights like Saba in a way. He doesn't have any lasers in his eyes, but he does have a laser move when he slashes. It's really cool. I really wish I could show you clips from the show, but I'm afraid that Toei will copy claim this or copy strike me this time if I try. But basically, they go on with this battle for a while, and Goju Roof does lose and gets pushed towards the other Gojugers that have lost the battle with Kaku Ranger Red. Now, when Origami teams up with Kaku Ranger Red at the end, they realize that they're working as a team. The other Gojugers realize that, Origami and Kaku Ranger is working as a team together. Now, the concept of this episode, in a nutshell, is the Origami Ranger is trying to teach that the Gojugers do not have the right mindset to complete the battle goal, to get all the Gojuger rings. Sentai rings, sorry. And in a way, they get shown that, they're not ready to battle the main enemy, the main bad guy of their show. Well, unlucky them that the main enemy of the show is showing up. Now, like I said, this is why I think the show is ending next week, is because the main battle, the main number one battle, is happening next week, I'm pretty sure. And it's really sad because when he shows up, he has a big windstorm kind of thing. And when he actually shows up, he has a little speech, and all of a sudden now we get the preview for the next episode. And I'm going to show you the preview right now. And what's sad about it is when you see this preview, you'll see that Goju Roof looks like he's about ready to die in Origami's arms. And you actually get to see the Kaku Ranger's Zord battle, Megazord, and with Sword. And it's a fantastic looking preview, but I think it's the very last episode, or second to the very last episode. Because remember, Project Red is coming out in about a week or two for, the new slot, the time slot of Gozyuger. So we got to think about this. Gozyuger was supposed to have 50 episodes, and they should have. And by all counts, in this episode, you actually do get to see Maya in this show. Not supposed to, but you see her in the show when the ninja Kakured comes out as a ninja form and lands. They show a shot behind him, and I'm gonna see if I can pull it up for you. So as you can see right here, here is Maya, right here in the shot. So knowing that the rumor of all 50 episodes was filmed before the Maya scandal means that this is true. It was filmed. So having them to go overdub her with the new actress and cutting down 5 episodes, or maybe even just 4 episodes, means that we're losing out a lot of story. And it makes me sad because I really want to see the full 50 episodes of Gozyuger. And maybe when they come out on a DVD or Blu-ray, maybe they'll have the lost episodes of Maya, because that Maya scandal has turned into something good where Japan wants her to be in more shows, more movies, and stuff. So it makes it interesting to know that Maya is becoming even more famous because of the scandal in such a way where they want her in movies in Japan, even though the rumor is right now she's in the Philippines, back home. But, if Japan wants her and she wants to go back to making big name movies in Japan or TV shows, that's fantastic because she's a great actress. But knowing that Sentai was supposed to have 50 episodes in total, and now it's going down to 45 to maybe even 45 to 46. Probably just 45. Like I said, I think next week's episode is going to be the last one. Makes me sad, but I hope to God, like I just said, maybe they'll have a special feature of the lost episodes of Maya. Wouldn't that be awesome? So you would have a full, set of Gozyuger episode 1 to 45 or 46, and then have the lost episodes of Maya from the time where she was cut out of the show to the last, few episodes that we never got, to have the true ending. That would be awesome because I think those kind of special features would be perfect, especially since Maya is now allowed to make movies back in Japan. So that means they theoretically could put Maya back into the show, but they won't because that'd be kind of weird to go back and forth between actresses. And yeah, so as you saw in the preview as well, as like I said, it's probably going to be the last episode next week. I could be wrong. We might have one more after that, but Project Red is coming out, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification button. And if you really want to support the channel, there's a membership for $1 that I set up for 99 cents, but I think YouTube messes with it. And if you don't want to join a membership, there is a thanks button down there that will also support the channel. And if you're wondering what I'm going to do with the money, I am literally going to put it back into the channel. Everything from review products to new camera, new lighting, everything to make the channel look better for my subscribers and newcomers and everybody that just watches my channel for fun. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in my next video. Peace.